This video is brought to you by New Silly O's Premium Deluxe. New Silly O's Premium Deluxe. It tastes like a majestic fart on the open ocean.
Oh dear, such spooky stories. Oh, hello there children. I am Swifto, and this is my book of spooky stories. Would you like to hear one? Your answer is not necessary because this is a recording, and I'm predetermined to tell my story regardless of your objections. For this special Halloween special, I have a special Halloween themed special story, especially for you special people. Before I begin, allow me to introduce you to the main characters of this story. This is Fred, and this is Mark. Oh, those silly billies, always getting themselves into bother. This is Fred and Mark's Halloween Hassle. It was a gorgeous Altovian summer's day, and Fred and Mark were relaxing in the living room. There's nothing like reading a good book to pass the time, said Fred. Really? Said Mark. 'Cause it looks like you're reading a newspaper to me. Page 3, eh? Not much reading there, is there? Oh, what lovely views though. Check out those mountain peaks. Mark, do you mind? This is supposed to be a children's story, you know. I'm not the one who's busy looking at nude women. Stop it, Mark, you're spoiling the PG atmosphere. If you really must know, I'm doing research for my art class. Our subject is on the female form, actually. Bollocks, you only go to those art classes to ogle the models and wank off in the corner. That's not true, you filthy liar. It was at this point that Fred expressed his disagreement with Mark's comments, using the medium of violence. That'll teach you to ruin this family-friendly Halloween story, you utter gobshite. What did I do this time? Remarked Mark. Fred went to see who was at the door. It was his friendly neighbourhood postman, Nigel. Good morning, Nigel. Shut your face, you specky puff. Isn't anyone going to stick to being family-friendly for this story? Fred opened the letter that Nigel had given him and read it using his eyeballs. Huh? I don't believe it, said Fred in a state of shock. What is it? It's Uncle Frank. He's dead. Oh no, not Uncle Frank. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you okay? Okay? I feel fucking fantastic. What? Now that Uncle Frank has finally kicked the bucket, I'll get a large portion of his money. I'm rich! I'm filthy stinking rich! Ha ha! I can finally get out of this shithole of a house. Fred, you might want to tone it down a little. After all, this is supposed to be a children's story. I sod the little twats, I don't care, I'm rich now. Ha ha ha! That silly Billy Fred. He sure is a cunt. But little did he know that he wasn't to inherit his uncle's money. Nope. Instead, what he was about to inherit was his uncle's old haunted mansion. But only under one condition. He had to stay in it for an entire night on Halloween. And if you think that sounds cliché, you're absolutely right. Well, this writing thing's really hard, you know. I'd like to see one of you shits write something better. Fuck off. Some length of time which can't be arsed figuring out after that scene, Fred and Mark found themselves arriving at Uncle Frank's old manor house. Whoa, what an absolute shithole. I'm not sure I like the look of this place. I thought we were going to Uncle's luxury mansion. This looks more like a haunted old castle. Fred, may I ask just 2 very small questions? Yes, what is it? Well, firstly, how and or why does your uncle even own this place? I think it once belonged to some old distant relative of ours who died in Victorian times. Legend says that it was on a cold, creepy Halloween night like this. She was walking around the gardens when she was suddenly attacked and killed by a pack of rampaging hamsters. Oh, I see. Nasty way to go. Yeah, What was the other question you had, Mark? Oh yeah, I was just wondering, if the narrator said that it was a summer's day at the beginning of this story, then how come it's Halloween already? Well, you see, the thing with that is, oh, look over there. Oh, of all the rotten luck, Fred sighed. Why did that bastard leave me this run-down shithole? Cheer up, Fred. At least you can always sell it later. Yeah, I suppose you're right, Mark. You know, with just a little bit of paint and a nice old dusting, I'm sure I could spruce this place up and sell it to some dumb rich goth freak. That'll teach that bastard uncle of mine. Thinks he can get away with leaving me nothing but this shithole? I'll make him roll in his grave when I'm rolling in cash. Jeez, Fred, the man's just died. What's wrong with you? All my life that prick has put me down, made fun of me and made me the butt of his jokes. Well, not anymore. Now that he's dead, Fred is taking over. Just then, Fred and Mark heard an eerie laugh that went something like this. Ho, 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 ho. Santa? What? It was supposed to be an eerie laugh. Nah, I agree with Mark. That sounded more like Santa. Oh, shut up, you two. This is my story. I say it's an eerie laugh. I'm in control. Therefore, it's an eerie laugh. All right. Gasp, Mark, did you hear that eerie laugh? No, I did hear Santa, though. Ah, sod this. Just move on to the next scene already. After Fred and Mark had settled into their temporary accommodations, Mark then exclaimed he was hungry. I'm hungry. You see, I said he would say that. The kitchen should be down that hallway, past the dining room, and then past the billiard room. Whose billiard? I don't know. Anyway, go make us some sandwiches, old chum. Alrighty, 2 sandwiches coming up. I'll just go and put the stove on. On second thoughts, Mark, I'll go and make the sandwiches. I'm not sure you can be trusted with such an important task. Well, I am insane. Yeah, I'll go and get us food. What will I do then? Oh, I don't know. Go and light the fire or something. Righty-ho, old buddy. And so Fred went along to the kitchen while Mark went into the living room to light a fire. Fred looked around the dark, spooky old kitchen and exclaimed that he was slightly apprehensive about this place. Oh, I'm slightly apprehensive about this place. You see, I said he would say that. He opened the fridge with his hands to find out what was inside by looking with his eyes and processing the information with his brain. He came to the conclusion that it was empty. He then creaked open a creaky cupboard and found a dusty old box of instant pasta. It was cheese and pig flavour. The best before date said May 2002. Oh, it's not that old, said Fred. Oh yes, I should probably mention this story takes place in 2002. Not that that matters much, I suppose. Fred found himself a pot, filled it with water and placed it on the stove. But as soon as his back was turned, the pot spilled over and spilled water all over the floor. Fred then used his swift logical cunning to bravely exit the room. Ah! After using his legs to move his physical manifestation from one point in space to another, he then ran into Mark in the hallway. Mark! The pot just came alive and tipped itself over onto the floor. Ah, don't be silly, Fred. It was probably just the wind. How the fuck can the wind blow over a metal pot full of water? Fred then looked more carefully at Mark and realised he was blackened with soot. What the hell happened to you? I thought you were lighting the fire. Huh? Oh yes, fire's lit. Mark opened the door to the living room. Inside there was fire, and a bit more fire. I left you alone for 2 fucking minutes. How the hell did you create this much fire? I don't know. I'm just very good at starting fires. Right, well, the living room's fucked. Kitchen's haunted. What will we do now? I don't know about you, but I'm getting pretty tired. Let's just go to bed. I'm sure it'll sort itself out. But the living room is on fire! I'm sure it'll sort itself out. Besides, things always look better in the morning after a good night's sleep. Perhaps you're right. Come on, then. Which room did you put our luggage in? Luggage? Oh, I put that in the living room. Mark, do you want to know something? Oh, what is it, mate? I fucking hate you. Fair enough. As the suitcase containing Fred's freshly cleaned red tops, crusty boxers and worn-out porno mags slowly burned away peacefully in the warm glow of the living room embers, Fred and Mark made their way up the creaky old stairs to get a good night's sleep. And remember, kids, you need to get a good night's sleep too, so you can grow up strong and become powerful, superior adults. And then you will become obsessively motivated by your superiority to crush your opponents in the dust and climb the ladder of success, become the ultimate unstoppable power in the world. And you will rule this world with an iron fist to begin your galactic conquest of total domination. But before you go to sleep dreaming of your galactic conquest, I haven't finished my shitty story yet. So we'll be right back after this ad break. Don't go away. For the first time ever on DVD, for a limited time only, the full, complete, remastered Madman Joe animated cartoon collection. Ordered now while stocks last. This stunning DVD box set contains all 1 episodes of Madman Joe.
At last it is complete.
Such as Madman Joe Breakfast and some extra features. This special, limited, rare DVD comes with some stunning extra content, including interactive menus, scene selection, and the ability to turn on or off subtitles, plus a photo gallery and a commentary track. I don't actually have very many pictures of Madman Joe, so it's mostly just some of my random holiday pictures. But I'm sure the commentary track more than makes up for it. You see, I chose grey as the colour theme for Madman Joe to represent our oppressive authoritarian society. What a lot of you retards don't understand about this work of art that I have composed is that it's full of subtle themes that you morons are just too dumb to understand. It's hard for me to make you lesser people understand what is meant by the breakfast motif of this film. There are no words in the English language that can adequately describe the complex web of emotions that Joe is feeling in this scene right now. Only the Koreans have a word for it. Only in their language can I begin to make you idiots understand what I'm trying to say in this picture. But unfortunately I don't speak any Korean, so we'll just have to settle for the superfluous English language for this commentary track. No expense has been spared in the making of this, the Madman Joe Limited Special Edition Ultra Deluxe DVD box set. Look for it now and order quickly before you miss the chance to own it and live to regret your failure for the rest of time. The Madman Joe Limited Special Edition Ultra Deluxe DVD box set. So special, so limited, it's already out of stock. Now you'll have to go to eBay to pay some stupid money from a scalper, because we didn't make enough copies to make it seem more valuable than it actually is. So long, suckers. This is Fred and Mark's Halloween Hassle. Fred crumply sat on the bed as Mark searched for monsters under the bed. Come on, Mark, hurry up and get in. It's bad enough that you're too scared to sleep on your own, but must you play silly games too? Huh? What are you talking about, Fred? It was you that suggested that we sleep in the same room, because you had a bad feeling about this place, and you were too much of a pussy to sleep on your own. Shut up, Mark. Told you not to talk about that conversation we had in the ad break. Oh, great. Now everyone's going to think that I'm a wimp in this story. But you are, Fred. You're always a pussy. Oh, yeah? How about I come over to your side of the bed and show you that this pussycat's paws are pure muscle? Fred, that was extremely lame, even for your standards. Right, you're asking for it, buddy. Stick him up. Without even looking, Mark connected his right fist with Fred's face, and Fred was out like a light. Good night, Fred. Mark switched off the bedside lamp and penetrated his face right into his pillow, instantly falling asleep. Meanwhile, a sinister, shadowy figure looked through the crack of the door at the two sleeping idiots in the bed. The dark figure slowly creaked the door open and slid along the wall towards the cupboard. The door of the cupboard whined as it opened, and the sinister shadow smoothly slid into it. Oof! Huh? What was that? Fred said in alarm. Mark was snoring loudly. Fred sighed with relief and went back to sleep. The sinister shadow opened the cupboard door slightly and made a strange hand gesture towards the bed. Suddenly the bed began to move slightly. The left corner lifted up and then bumped back down to the ground. Mark stirred in his sleep as the bed hit the floor. Oh, steady on, Susan. I've only got so much stamina. The shadow then lifted up the corner nearest to Fred's head, and then at the same time, the bottom right corner. The bed slammed down to the ground, waking both Fred and Mark in a state of terror. Ah! Mark! The bed's possessed! The bed began to dance around, and each corner kept lifting and falling, over and over. Oh shit! It must be a ghost! Ah, let's get out of here! Mark tried to jump out of the bed and fell over himself. Fred then fell over Mark, hanging half out the dancing bed, and they both rolled their way towards the door. As they did this, Fred exclaimed loudly to Mark to run quickly. Run! Quickly!
You see, I said he would say that.
But as they ran down the hallway and got to the grand stairway, Fred stopped suddenly and Mark ran face first into the back of Fred's head. They looked down and saw a ghost coming up the stairs. Oh shit! Run back! Run back the other way! The ghost followed them up the stairs and along the hallway. They ran back into the bedroom and slammed the door shut. The bed was still dancing around, and the ghost outside was banging on the door, which Fred tried desperately to keep closed with all his strength on it. Mark pointed towards the window. We'll just have to go out the window. Are you crazy? You'll die from this height. Mark tried to run and jump out the window, but he tripped over something in the middle of the room. Suddenly the bed stopped dancing. Hey, who left all these wires lying around the room? Mark said as he held aloft the wires in his hands. Huh? What wires? Mark went over and switched the bedside lamp on. They saw the cupboard door slam shut suddenly and saw several wires going from the cupboard to the bed. The bed had now stopped moving completely. The ghost outside the door seemed to calm down, and both Fred and Mark looked at each other in confusion. They both slowly approached the cupboard. Well, why don't you open the door and see if they've gone, Mark? Old buddy, old pal? Piss off, I'm not going near that thing. Oh, please, Mark, I'm scared. Me too. Why don't we both open it together and see what's inside? Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
The doors opened suddenly before they laid a finger on them, and the sinister shadow came bursting out.
Ah! Ah! Fred and Mark screamed like little girls. Out of the cupboard came Uncle Frank, laughing hysterically. Oh shit! It's the ghost of Uncle Frank! He's come back to reclaim his mansion. Ah, shut your face, you numbskull ninny of a nephew. I'm not dead. I was just shitting with you boys. But why, Uncle, why? Because I'm rich and I'm bored. And also because I hate you. So it was just you doing all those spooky things? Yep, pretty fucking funny, wasn't it? But Uncle, we saw a ghost outside on the stairs. Mark, for the last time, I'm not your uncle. And that was just my faithful old butler, Mr. Reeves here. The bedroom door opened, revealing someone in a crappy-looking bedsheet ghost costume. Mr. Reeves then flung it off and revealed his smug, smiling face. So you were making the bed move? Yeah, that was me. And you set the living room on fire? No, that was Mark, somehow. I just have a gift, said Mark, blushing. But, How did you make the pot in the kitchen flip over? I didn't see any wires on that. Well...
Oh, that was me,
said a deep voice from the corner of the room. All four of them looked over and saw a transparent-looking man standing there, smiling at them.
A real
ghost!
And all four of them ran down the stairs, straight out the front door, and never returned to the old haunted mansion ever again. And that is the end of our story, kids. Wasn't it great? No? Oh, fuck off then!